importing chart of accounts. So talking about LSUIT, we had four data migration processes or data importing processes involved till this very moment. And that was importing customers, suppliers, the stock or the items. And the next one was for leads. Right now, we have implemented the same for importing chart of accounts as well. And for that, let's set the scene right now. Seamless transition, make setting up or moving into our platform quicker. So that's one thing. Either you're moving into an ERP software for the very first time, or you already have been using a different software and you have already exported the data from there, from the trial balance or all the ledgers in an Excel format or anything like that, or in a CSV format, and you want to import it, your existing chart of accounts to LSUIT, you'll be able to do that. Ensure that your financial information is completely accurate and mirrored in our system for a smooth transition, and rapidly integrate your existing accounting data and start utilizing your platform with minimal disruption. So, how can we do it? Have created an entirely new uh, workspace for this, ABC Enterprises. So, imagine I'll first of all show you the different files that we have also, or the Excel file or the CSV file that we'll be using to import. So that's one very important thing. I think we'll look into that first. Let me just open that file. Yes. So I'll just do something for the fields. Yes. Imagine this is a very simple file. I'm just using a very simple file so that you can easily understand this. We have a set of chart of accounts like Atul salary, Varun salary, Asher salary, Arjun wages, rent paid for land and for building, then some Vaishak wages, printing and stationery, then rent received on land and on building, accounts payable, Axis Bank loan, and Bajaj loan. And the different types like indirect expense, direct expense, indirect income, current liabilities, loan liabilities, so and so. And when you have uh, multiple accounts under a single name, like a salary, the salary becomes a parent account, right? And similarly, we have wages, then we have rent earnings, and we have loans. And accordingly, we have debits and credits as well. Let's do one thing. We'll return back to our software. ABC Enterprises, yes. In LSUIT or in ABC Enterprises workspace, you can either go to chart of accounts under accounting section, and you can look at all the system inbuilt chart of accounts here. So you'll be having all the parent accounts and everything. And if you want to create accounts like bank accounts, you will be able to do it in the banking section as well. Under reports, you can look at the trial balance here. The trial balance is going to be empty because we don't have nothing here. We can go to all ledgers, and also we can look into all the chart of accounts and all the credit or the debit values, the amounts, and the groups associated with it. And here we'll be able to filter it easily as well. So this is a basic. We want to import that particular file. So let me just show you how we can import it. We can go to the settings, and the opening balance, you need to set the migration date. That is really important. I'm going to set the migration date as 01/01/2023 to start off this fiscal year in UAE and everything. So yeah, I'm returning back to settings. And under migration, we have the import data. We can choose the file related to which category it is. So chart of accounts, drop the file here. And under documents, we have the chart of accounts. This should be a CSV file. You may or may not be getting, or you may or may not be exporting the file from the ERP system that you're already using, or the financial accounting software that you're already using. And you won't be getting all these data in a ready-made manner. So you will have to create your own CSV file, and then you'll have to make it in an orderly manner, in an organized manner, then update it. So we have five different fields to which you will be able to map your columns in which name and type are mandatory. So name, type, gather parent account, and the credit value and the debit value. Everything is mapped, and we have the preview section. So look at the name side. Atul salary, Varun salary to everything is up and running. And all the different types, indirect expenses, direct expenses, indirect income, the current liabilities launched, everything is good, properly mapped. Parent account like salary and wages are mapped, but rent on earning and loans are not found. Why? That's the first question. So there will be situations in which you won't be able to see this, because salary and wages are parent accounts which is already existing within the system or within the software. So you will be able to easily bring in your debit or credit values there. But if you don't have the parent accounts first, your first objective should be to import the parent account. So we'll have to create an additional CSV file like that. We'll be able. You should be doing that first, and I'll be showing that to you right now. But this is really important to understand. Once you start the importing process, you may or may not come into this particular situation, but there are chances that you may come. So you can either go to your chart of account section within the software and check which all parent accounts are there for you. And if you don't have them, then you'll have to first create a file accordingly, or come to this mapping section first. Don't submit, don't click on the submit file, look. And as of now, I can understand there are three major parent accounts which are missing here. So what should I do? I should not continue from this particular page. What I should do is I'll just temporarily place it like this, and I'll create a duplicate. No, I'll just go to settings itself. That will be better. I need to import data. So which data should I import? I should import another file, a file like this. And what is the specialty about this particular file? Here, we'll be first of all mentioning all the parent accounts and then the type. So you first import this particular file, and I'll show it to you. Some of you may be having a question like, okay, so we already know that there are salary and wages parents account already within the system. So why do you want to import it again? We won't be importing it again. The reason why I'm showing it to you like this is just a sample file. A normal company will be having a bunch of parent accounts. So at that time, going into chart of accounts, searching whether a particular account is present, it could be a tedious process. So what I would do prefer is, which all parent accounts you have, make a file like this. And if it's 10 or if it's 100, make a file like this. And also mention all the different types also there. And save it. Now, ABC Enterprises, import data, chart of accounts, select the parent account file and update. And for name, this is a parent account, and type, update it. So it will be getting mapped like this. Now, few of you will be having a question. Now, if I click on submit, since the salary account is already present, will this be creating a new salary account? Nothing like that will happen. When you click on submit, what happens? It says that the chart of account already exists. You won't be able to import it. So what happens? You have to remove it. Next, wages also, submitting it. Again, you won't be able to submit it because it already exists. So you'll remove it. Now, what about the three? Should I add in credit or debit or anything like that? Or to say, should I choose any parent account here? No. These are the parent accounts that we are importing. So you should import the parent accounts first, right? Let us click on submit. And yes, three chart of accounts are imported: rent, earning, and loans. Now what we can do? See, rent here, rent earnings, and then loans will be imported. And I'm not going to reload it. It's not going to work like that. We'll be closing it right now. And chart of accounts, again, selecting the chart of accounts file, the CSV file, and clicking on update. Then you'll be mapping it properly. Yes. So we have salary, then we have rent, and then we have rent earnings, and then we have loans. And for printing and stationery, for rent received, for accounts payable, we don't have parent accounts, and corresponding credit and debit values are also found, right? So if I click on submit, all of these 13 chart of accounts will be imported with their credit or debit values. And in order to make sure that everything is done properly, what we can do is go to settings itself. Sorry, I think my screen got stuck there. Yes, I think the importing went well. We can just make sure that it worked right. Yes. So we have the opening balance adjustment with debit of this particular amount. Debit and credit, everything is been mentioned. And yes, we have the rent received on land and the rent received on building, right? And then we had Vaishak wages and Arjun wages under direct expense. Then under indirect expense, we had few salaries like Atul salary, Varun salary, Asher salary, and rent paid on land and rent paid for building and also printing and stationery. So everything is here. And finally, the accounts payable section, the loans also. So yes, so everything is imported properly. And for more details, we can go to reports and into trial balance and see under loans, we have this much, returned earning, we have this much, accounts payable, we have this much, and the opening balance adjustment is also mentioned. And for other reports like all ledger, if you go to all ledgers, we could see for accounts payable, how much is the debit amount. And for Arjun wages, Asher salary, Atul salary, everything is mentioned here. So your chart of accounts is properly migrated in such situation. So let me just give you, we can conclude it like this. If you have a bunch of chart of accounts, what you have to do is, now if you export a file from your already existing financial accounting software, you create a CSV file properly for us. You can use your, connect with your service partners, or you can ask for support at LSUIT itself. They will be able to, or we'll be able to help you out on that. Since you have a bunch of chart of accounts, what you have to do is create that file, try to upload it, and see in which all fields or in which all areas the mapping didn't properly work. So you can understand that which all parent accounts are there and which all parent accounts are not there. So you create a list of parent accounts that you have and you bring it in and you try to import it. And then what happens? You can see that few of the parent accounts in the list are already within the system. In such situations, you won't be able to import them further. So you can delete them in the mapping page itself and import the rest. And then use the original file and import all the debit and the credit values associated with those accounts. So in this way, we'll have a very smooth importing done. Now, I did it in a very quick manner. I mean, there's no rush to complete it in a stipulated manner, in a stipulated time itself. You can take your own time and complete it in a timely manner.